Good evening. And what a good evening this one is. Casablanca. You know, they can parody Casablanca, they can send it up, they can make fun of it, they can satirize it in any way you like, in music, in plays, in sketches, in review, anything you like. And the magic is there, I think, as soon as the film begins, or as soon as you remember, as time goes by. A song forgotten from the early 1930s and revived into immortality by producer Hal B. Wallis and, of course, director Michael Curtiz and composer Max Steiner for Casablanca. The cast of Casablanca. Well, I ask you, could they need any introduction? But just let us look through some of them. Humphrey Bogart, of course, it's true of him, is it not? What Pauline Kael said, there isn't an actor in American films today with anything like his assurance, his magnetism, or his style. How true. Paul Henreid, Ingrid Bergman, and Claude Rains. In this shot and the next one I'm showing you, Claude Rains creates, I think, one of the most interesting characters in the film. As a matter of fact, in many times that I saw the film with audiences, Claude Rains was the character that everybody loved most of all, and I'm sure you will tonight. He is magnificent. Also in the cast of Casablanca, and of more than passing interest, Peter Lorre. But you know, the strange thing is that Peter Lorre's role, like that of Sidney Greenstreet, is very, very minor indeed in the plot of Casablanca. An actor for whom I had great admiration. He died, sadly, during World War II and made some great movies in America and, of course, in Europe and England. Conrad Veidt as Major Strasser. Originally, of course, Hal Wallis, the producer, had wanted Otto Preminger to play the part of Major Strasser. Thank goodness it was Conrad Veidt. I think he is superb. Another member of the cast of more than passing interest in this shot and the next is Dooley Wilson. And here's an irony for you about Dooley Wilson. He was borrowed from Paramount. Ingrid Bergman was borrowed from David O. Selznick to appear at Warner Brothers in Casablanca. Would you believe that Dooley Wilson cost Warner Brothers $3,500 a week on loan from Paramount, which was nearly $400 more than they paid for Ingrid Bergman to be in the picture? Now, that's one of the ironies of Casablanca. And yet it's probably Dooley Wilson, as much as Ingrid Bergman or Humphrey Bogart, have helped to make this film so immortal. One final point. Listen to the music. Max Steiner looked after the score. He uses familiar themes brilliantly. From the moment the film starts, I think the opening credits are very exciting in sound, going right into a special effect that I think is very good. And of course, the magnificent As Time Goes By. I hope you love it just half as much as I do, and you really adore Casablanca. So much artistry, you know, and yet Howard Koch, who worked on the screenplay of the film with or apart from the Epsteins who are on the credits, said, and I quote, "We were in a Pirandello situation, 6 characters in search of a story. When shooting commenced on Casablanca, I had half the script completed. The race was on between my pencil and the camera." And the actors, some of them have said in interviews in recent years that they did not know how the film was going to end or what they were going to be doing the next day. But one of the things that Casey Robinson did, the late Casey Robinson, who lived in Australia for many years until his death, and one of my favourite screenwriters, he did The Old Maid, Now Voyager, Adventures of Mark Twain. A great screenwriter. Oh, Snows of Kilimanjaro and Passage to Marseille as well. Casey Robinson also participated in the writing of the script of Casablanca, and his job was mainly concerned with building up the character played by Paul Henreid, who wasn't very happy about his character in the script because he thought it was straight out of musical comedy. So there we are, several writers working on it, and working on it like the scene the day before it was due to be shot. It must have been quite hectic, the making of Casablanca, but the magic, of course, was there. Here are a couple of photographs I thought you might like to see. These are not scenes from the film. They're just posed publicity shots, but rather delightful, I think, with Ingrid Bergman, Paul Henreid, and Humphrey Bogart in this particular shot. And in the next one, we have the 4 leads. Claude Rains, of course, is magnificent, isn't he? A super performance, a super characterization. Well, need I ask, are you enjoying it? I'm sure you are. And we shall return to Casablanca in a few moments' time. What a wonderful film. There's no doubt about it, the magic is still there. I've read Casablanca, I've seen Casablanca so many times, I think some of those scenes I know by heart. But it doesn't matter how often you see a film that's of this nature, each time it seems to come up as fresh and exciting as ever. I think Casablanca has now gone beyond mere criticism into that area of super movies like Waterloo Bridge, Gone with the Wind, of course, The Wizard of Oz. So many, just that few great movies that have just become, I don't know, very much part of the fabric of the most loved entertainments of the 20th century. I hope you've enjoyed Casablanca, and I hope